Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another review. Today we are reviewing Raptor at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Raptor is 137 feet tall. It has approximately 3,800 feet of track, and its maximum speed is 57 miles per hour. It might not be that impressive for a B&M invert, but remember, this was like the first custom B&M invert layout that we saw here in America, and it was very impressive at the time it was built. So, Raptor is situated along the main midway of Cedar Point. You definitely see it when you walk in through the front gate and you're walking along the main midway. It is so loud. It has the classic B&M old school roar, and it is just absolutely insane to watch and to ride. I can't help but to watch this every time I walk along the main midway. Every time it goes by, I just stop and watch it because it's just that impressive. So, Raptor has a green color scheme, which I personally very like, along with the purplish pink trains, which really pop as it rides along the main midway. So it kind of has an out and back layout. Um, so let's go ahead and just follow the layout real quick here. So Raptor uh, leaves the station and takes a left-hand turn up the 137-foot lift hill, and then for the drop, it is not steep at all. It is like very shallow of a drop. So you take a left-hand turn into the drop, and you dive down into the first element, which is a vertical loop. I very enjoy this vertical loop. I'll talk about it later. But after the vertical loop, you head straight into a zero G roll. I'm talking like no time to breathe. You head straight into that zero G roll. And then you dive down into this little straight section of track before you dive back up again and into the first Cobra roll seen on an inverted roller coaster. Very impressive at the time it was built. And technically, this is two inversions in one since it flips you upside down twice. So after that fourth inversion, you head back up into a helix into the mid-course brake run, where sometimes it hits hard, sometimes it doesn't hit hard, and I'm telling you, when it doesn't hit hard, you fly through that second half of the ride. It just makes the second half a whole lot better. But anyway, you take a right hand turn downwards into the first of two corkscrews on the ride. It is a corkscrew to the left, and after you take this corkscrew to the left, you are like right up against that main midway, and everyone sees you as it's a little bit more of straight section before you dive back down into the second corkscrew. And this one is just as whippy as the first, even though it's later in the ride, it is just as whippy as the first. And then you head into my personal favorite element of the ride, that downward helix at the end. This is absolutely wild. Like, you are just flying through this helix, and you feel like your legs are gonna get ripped off. I'm talking like absolutely insane. This is definitely the best moment of the ride for me. And after this, you head back out and you take a hard left hand turn into the brake run. And this transition is very jerky. Like, you gotta be prepared for it or else you're gonna slam your head. I definitely slammed my head the first time I rode this because I had no idea that that transition was there. So, anyway, talking about my experience on Raptor, my favorite elements had to be the most whippy elements of the ride. I'm talking like the corkscrew, zero G roll, cobra roll, um, and that downward helix especially. I know it's not whippy, but it is absolutely insane. Like, that is the best moment of the ride. Um, but yeah, the zero G roll and the cobra roll especially were both very whippy. Even though they're not that big of elements, I still feel like since they're smaller and more compact, that they're just that much whippier. And not much else to say, but I very, very enjoyed this ride. Like, it is absolutely so fun, and I would definitely recommend riding this next time you go to Cedar Point. Personally, it is my favorite B&M invert that I've gotten on. I've only been on three: Raptor, Afterburn, and Banshee, and this is definitely my favorite of the three that I've ridden. Even though I have seen Montu in person, I haven't been on it. So anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this ride, and I definitely recommend. I feel like this, even though it gets like very long lines in the morning because everyone just rushes to it, I feel like if you hit this like later in the day when it has a shorter line, like man, you are in for a treat, especially that back row. That is probably one of the most intense experiences on a roller coaster that you can get. But anyway, that should wrap up this review. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I would definitely recommend this ride here at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. My final score for it out of 10 would be an 8.5 out of 10. This is absolutely a thriller of a ride. I would definitely recommend it. So, anyway, make sure to come over to Cedar Point sometime and check out Raptor. And, yep, that should wrap up the video. Make sure to stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.